Then now, this introduction and then details. First here, in general, all phenomena, all phenomena are included in the two categories of samsara and nirvana. So within these two, samsara and nirvana, everything is concluded. Nothing exists beyond these two. So this phenomena is also called dharma. So as mentioned, dharma has a lot of different meanings. All phenomena is called dharma. Then precious dharma teachings that we take refuge in. So now that which is called samsara, so we call samsara. Samsara means, of course now it's become as English terminology, samsara. The cycle of the confusion. Cycling exists, samsara. In Tibet it's called korwa. Korwa means going round and round and round and round. Even as you can fly from here to Mount Kailash and go farther, Siberia, farther, and again you come back. There's not too far to go. In other words, the real meaning is we cycled all the causalities within the framework of confusion. That's what's called samsara. So samsara, that which is called samsara, is empty by nature. Its reality nature is empty. Now, as you know now, you have very good understanding of emptiness, what it means. It's not just negation. You just negate, say it's empty. No, it's not that. There's no solid, independent entity. Something is functioning because of the other support. This is called theoretically. Theoretically, if you analyze, investigate, nothing functions by its own without the other support. So through that, if you analyze, investigate, you cannot find one independent entity. So that's what's called emptiness. But that very what we see is functions. So it functions within in the emptiness. But due to our confusion, without realizing that, we see as a phenomenon, an object which is solid. So we are grasping on that. We are fixated on that. That's called confusion. That's what's called this empty by nature. Confused projections. So they were confused to that projection, not realizing the nature is empty. We see it as a solid, concrete. Like if you see a reflection of the moon in the lake, before you know there's a lake, you think, the moon is out there. You don't realize there's a lake. In the lake, there's a moon's reflection. So we're confused as a moon. That's why now there's 500 monkeys, the stories down there somewhere. I'm sure you have heard of that. The 500 monkey, they saw a moon's reflection in the well, down in the well. So that they realize there's a water, and then the moon's reflection is there. they thought moon is fallen in that ground there. So they are confused. So they thought the world is in the wrong place now. Moon is supposed to be in the sky, and now in the well, So we must fix this problem. So that's how confusion manifests, you see. That's what's called confusion, see. Its defining characteristics means that now the confusion, how you can characterize confusion, is that it's manifest as a suffering. So all the sufferings that we go through is because of the confusion. Confuse the right cause, wrong cause. All this, then we make mistake because of confusion. We want to do something good, but we make mistake because of confusion. So from there, suffering comes. So these are so precious, you see. It's just looking at the direct nature of the reality. So Gampopa wrote this, you see, how precious each word is, you see. Then say, that which is called nirvana. Nirvana means peace, total peace. It's also empty by nature. That also empty by nature. That's why it's called samsara, nirvana, one taste, one nature. But all the confused projections are exhausted. That which we, in the samsara, all the projection that we have through the confusion are all exhausted and dissipated. This is important. Confusions are exhausted and dissipated. These two words are very important. See, through our study, understanding, we understand intellectually. Yes, I understand how samsara is confused. Understand nirvana is there without confusion. But still, we have the imprint of the confusion. We are still holding self-grasping. We are entangled with our self-cherishing, because it's not exhausted, because it's not dissipated. See, that's why practice is so important. It required meditation practice. Meditation practice is not just chanting mantra. You are conscious, mindfulness. Look at your mind. What confusion manifesting, and then penetrate. Purify that. That's called practice. One may chant millions of mantras, but may not change anything mentally. There some may say, I have chanted millions of mantras. So I say, I appreciate, wonderful. But that much cannot go too far. No. So this is exhaustion and dissipated. These two words very important. So see, each word has such a great meaning. When you wash your cup, first you wash all the dirts. Still there's some left over, and more clean. Like your cloth, it has been very dirty. You wash again and again. Like that, look at the mind. We purify, meditate. That was really Buddhism is about. Looking at the mind, it's as mentioned, it's not just Buddhism, it's reality, nature. See that, no? Now Gampopa goes, you see, it's defining the characteristic is freedom from all suffering. Because the confusion is exhausted and dissipated, now there's no cause for suffering. Suffering is just gone, disappeared. There's no cause. So bodhisattvas, great bodhisattvas come to benefit in the world. Looks they are suffering, but in their mind they have a great joy. They feel they're doing something to help the sentient beings. They know what they're doing. There are a lot of challenges in the world, but face those challenges with the wisdom, with the compassion, showing the path. This is right, this is wrong. So year after year, life after life, that's because of great bodhisattvas. So now here coming furthermore about this samsara, see, confusion. That who is it that is confused in samsara? You ask. Who's that one who are confused in the samsara? All sentient beings of the three realms are confused. The three realms, the desire world, form world, formless world. So these are three called the Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. This all goes to the mental level. The desire world means all the sentient beings in the desire world. We are satisfied by the five senses, looking at the object, hearing sound, odor, nose, and food, tongue taste food, and touch. So the five senses are fulfilled their desire by the five objects. Those who are gross mind always project outside. That's why we all run outside. Where's the better place to live? What's the better food to eat? What's better clothes to wear? What's the better friend you can get? Our desire is fulfill the desire from outside, from these objects. It's called desire wall. The form wall is, even though it says body, but all the desires satisfied within the meditation. When you meditate, make the mind calm, peaceful, and there's a great joy, peace, not dependent on the outside, these five objects. It's called form wall. Formless wall, go farther. Even doesn't have this gross body. They have a mental body. So calm, so peaceful. But still they are not enlightened. Since they are not enlightened, so they are part of samsara. They work hard to achieve that, to their state. They do meditation for years in the mountain. they achieved solid meditation, but not enlightened. It's called this three wall of samsara. So those sentient beings in this three wall, they are the one who is confused. No? So when we are craving the outside, is we are confused. No? Then next, what causes confusion to arise? What kind of cause of the confusion? No? So see how precious this is. Just direct point. This is called repeat instruction. So what's the cause of confusion? Why we are confused in the first place? Saying the confusion arises on the basis of emptiness. So, because we have failed to realize emptiness. But emptiness is the foundation. This is, for example, in the dark, not too dark, sun is setting, and the road you don't see so clearly. Like in the summer on the road, there's a big piece of rope on the road, and you perceive as a snake. From distance, you say, oh, there's a snake. As soon as you perceive the snake, there's a fear. There's a doubt. There is a hope and fear how I can expect and how I can escape from the snake. There's a hope to free from the snake. There's a fear of the snake. So the rope is the basis of the confusion to see as a snake. Make sense? See, if there's a rope, outside there. Generally, but we are confused to see the rope as a rope. We perceive as a snake. So it's confused. So just an example. So that's the basis of the confusion. So when one fails to perceive the rope as a rope and perceiving rope as a snake, and there's all, as I mentioned, from that, all those thoughts are manifested. Delusions. So emptiness is the foundation. Like say, if you read the Uttara Tantra section, in the Uttara Tantra, the space, the basis of all these manifestations, the planets, the galaxies, stars, all this, without space, none of this can exist. They manifest from the space, they dissolve into space. So space is the basis of those. So emptiness is the basis. Nature of the emptiness, Dharmakaya, is the basis. That's why if you read the seven portation of Dara song by Jigten Sunggun. Without realizing one essence, Dharmakaya, Mother sentient beings are wandering in the samsara. So our Dharmakaya, this emptiness means Dharmakaya, is the basis of our confusion. Look at that. And this basis, now cause, should say, On what, I think it's a little mistake. On what basis confusion rise? This is basis, not cause. On what basis does confusion arise? Confusion rises on the basis of the emptiness. Then what causes confusion? There's two different. See, no, I think. Did I make mistake?
No.
No?
Yes.
I think I made a mistake. I jumped the reading. See, I read the wrong section and explained it in the other way. So all what I explained is this one. What basis does confusion arise? And then confusion arises on the basis of emptiness. So that I was explaining, okay? Now next, see, now we come here. On what, now what causes confusion to arise? Now you say, why the confusion is caused? Which created the cause? The confusion. So that's it. The cause of confusion is great ignorance. Notice here. Ignorance, no, not understanding from right from wrong. But ignorance can be very smart. Can be very smart to create cause of suffering. Just for example, nobody likes to die. Everyone has a fear for the death. Even small insects, if you touch, they run away because they have fear of their life. Maybe some is coming to kill them. But we are making weapons, you see. So powerful weapons. To kill, hundreds of thousands at just 1 second. So we're so smart. But there's a base to ignorance. The cause of confusion is great ignorance. Like ignorance is the root of the tree. When the tree has the root, then it can bring all the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruit, so forth. So when the ignorance is there, then there comes all our mental afflictions, attachment, anger, then pride, jealousy, arrogance, so forth. You can try to eliminate some part of those afflictions, but until we cut root of the ignorance, still the tree will grow. But if we cut from the root, then all the leaves and branches will die. Likewise, if the ignorance is uprooted, then all the mental afflictions have no basis. So this is what now practice Dharma teaching. I just mentioned to you before, if I make mistake, please tell me. But you didn't tell me. until I realized by myself. I read this wrong sentence and explained differently, Now, how does this confusion operate? It operates through the activities and experience of the 6 realms of the migrators. So these 6 realms are there due to our confusion. How degree, when there's a heavier negative thoughts, afflictions, more stronger confusion is there, it creates more like lower realms, like hell realm, hungry ghosts, animals. And then who have less confusion than human beings. And then others like this, the sentient beings, God realms, or says the form wall, formless wall, those. Even in the human realm, we have so many different types of beings. Some have more suffering than others. So look at this. So all the six realms made the division, not because of it's just happened by accidentally, but it's made the division depending to the degree of our mental afflictions. What examples this confusion? The confusion is like sleep and dream. So, what kind of example you can give? One I gave that rope confused, perceiving as a snake. Now here it's very clear. Sleeping is like the confusion, or we're confused within the ignorance sleep. Then after we got sleep, then comes the dream. So sleep and dream, the two things there. Now when, for example, in the dream, we went to a very beautiful place, flowers, beautiful sky, snow mountain, meadow, then trees, grassland, so beautiful you went. You got the dream because you sleep. With no sleep, dream is not possible, isn't it? Now you wake up from the sleep. Where are this place? What would you say? That places exist or not exist? You have any idea? Exist or not exist? What do you say?
Couldn't say either.
Huh?
You can't say either.
Why? Why not?
Because if you said it exists, you'd be able to find it somewhere, but you can't grasp it. But if you said it didn't exist, it wouldn't appear. It has appearance, but it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist or exist?
Something like that.
If not exist, why it is appeared?
It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Just like everything else.
In the dream, you cannot deny. Because you went to the place, you saw the place. You cannot deny, isn't it? So it does exist, isn't it?
It appears. Because I don't think it exists in the way it appears. It appears,
No.
but it doesn't exist in the way it appears.
Now when you have the dream, the beautiful flower, you pick up the one flower, you smell, you touch. So it exists or not exist?
But if you say that an object in a dream exists...
No, that I'm saying the dream. During the dream, you went to those places, you saw the flower, you pick up the flower, you smell, you touch.
It exists only in the dream. In your
It
sleep.
exists, isn't it? You cannot deny.
Sleep, it doesn't exist.
It exists because you pick up flower, you smell, you touch. So if it's not exist, how you can do that?
The experience exists.
Or your perception.
So look at this, you see. Now as soon as you wake up from the sleep, where are they?
In your mind.
See? Now where's the mind again? Then you go further, you see. That's what it's called. It's all just manifestation. Manifest, dissolve.
But if you say that the thing exists in a dream, don't you have to then logically conclude that a mirage or even the snake, even the rope looking like a snake
Yes.
would exist?
That's
You
right.
realize it didn't?
You see, when you are depressed, for example, you are depressed. There's no need in logic. You know? But as soon as your depression disappeared, where it is? So there's a cause for the depression. Example, you know? As soon as the cause is not there, then depression is no place. That's called causality. So we are looking, Gampopa is looking at the cause of the suffering, confusion, great ignorance, you see. Confused because of ignorance.
So the dream is samsara, and samsara exists.
Yes, exist.
So everything is
Exist in our mind, you see.
right.
We cannot deny, isn't it? But as soon as you see this, like say, if there's no sleep, there's no dream.
It exists.
So because when the confusion is dispelled, then something is gone, disappear. So that to do, work to do, you have to purify the ignorance, the cause of the confusion.
But the only thing, when I'm dreaming that existence in that world, I'm the only one experiencing it.
That's right.
So right now, there's 40 people experiencing this. So that's where I have a little bit of
Difficulties. Yeah, also just you are also in your mind. You have a kind of a state of mind. What I'm experiencing, you are judging. They all have the same experience, but I doubt. Everyone has their own different experience. You see?
There are 40 different perceptions.
Yes, every individual has. So some appreciate more, some appreciate less, some are not so happy, some are happier. Some understand more, some understand less, some let it confuse.
Alexandra said there were 40 different perceptions. I had 40 different perceptions within the last minute. Which one's mine?
Yes, that's right. So you got the point.
So the dream is samsara, and samsara is empty by nature.
So it's empty by nature, that's right.
So the dream is empty by nature.
Yes.
So emptiness exists.
Again, it exists or not exists.
Okay.
If you say emptiness exists, then it's a kind of like a it is like a oxymoronic statement,
So
because emptiness exists. How you can say it's empty? How can it exist?
So is emptiness independent?
First of all, as mentioned, If emptiness exists, then you can say it's independent or not not independent. First, you have to understand emptiness exists or not exist.
So the basis of this conversation is that all phenomena, whether you're asleep or awake,
That's right.
arise because of a set of causes and conditions. And so the issue is how to purify the causes
Of the confusion.
of the confusion.
Yes. So now what here Gampopa tried to tell is that in the dream like that, as I mentioned, like going to place, go to bed, no? Now in our world, in my mind, I see as a real. This is real, good. This is not real, good. All this I have, all these duality thoughts. As soon as I realize this all are just a manifestation. No, just my perception. Just for example, if I met a person, and first I didn't like that person, this person is really not good, a source of my suffering, all this. But later, if I realize that person is not bad, and good friend, so completely change my perception to the person. See? Look at that, you see. So in my mind, that very complete different picture. The first to the second. So that's how your mind can change. Your confusion can be changed. Your ignorance can be changed. Look at that, you see. And say, when did the confusion originate? This confusion originated in beginningless samsara. Samsara, there's no beginning, no end. Like the space. Okay. Because there's a lot of questions about that. When this confusion started, What is the error of this confusion? Means what kind of disadvantage there, confusion? So, what matters? Doesn't matter. Confusion is there. So, all experiences are suffering because of confusion. Now here, all experiences are suffering. It doesn't mean, as you know, we're always miserable. No, it's not that. It means we are not out of suffering. No matter what you do, where you go, how much you achieve, but still you are not free from suffering. No matter how happy you are, my life is perfect, everything is good. You say that. Now you ask, I'm really free from all suffering? It's not, isn't it? So when we talk about, this, it's when he said, all experiences are suffering. Many people get wrong understanding. Say, Buddhist teachings are just nothing. They only talk about suffering. What's good about that? That's it. There's joy. There is a happiness. No? So here, our understanding is, it's not saying we are always just pain. Later will come in the section of suffering. There's a suffering of change, or changeable suffering, and pervasive conditional suffering. So like this, step by step. So through your empirical analysis of the mind, you can see those states different. Look at that. Then it will give us real kind of good picture why we should practice Dharma. Otherwise, also when you look at the suffering of the hell realm here, which describes so much description of the hell realm. I heard there are some people, when you read the Jewel Ornament of Liberation section of the suffering, I don't want to study Buddhist anymore. It's too much, Here, Gampopa is trying to teach us to awake from that, to study, practice Dharma. Because even in the human realm, sometimes we have this like hell realm suffering. So that time, now we just only frustrated, or we want to have some kind of liberation from the suffering. It's giving us preparation. Look at the worst section, and then how to get out of that. So look at this, Those are suffering. Then when can this confusion be transformed into primordial wisdom? So when one attains unsurpassable enlightenment. Now here, transformation is transformed. This has a great, there's a depth of the meaning. It's not saying confusion is transformed. When we are confused on the basis of the ignorance, then all these delusions there. So through study and practice step by step, when the confusion is exhausted, as mentioned earlier, dissipated, then it remains the enlightened mind. So that was called transformed into primordial. It's not saying that confusion, the literal confusion is transformed into primordial wisdom. No, when the beings who are confused, that confusion is exhausted and then replaced by your primordial wisdom awareness, then the confusion is transformed. So it's very important. Otherwise, sometimes in the Tantra there's a wrong interpretation. All your afflictive emotions can transform by the tantric practice. Premortals, there's a transform into premortal wisdom, because we have this terminology, wisdom, premortal wisdom. In Sanskrit, it's called prajna and jnana. In Tibetan, we have the call sharap and yeshe. So these meanings in English when we translate, we have no other words to translate. But the meaning can be a little different, Usually the wisdom means a lot of collections of the knowledge, and you get some understanding. Who has a lot of wisdom of the history, wisdom of the modern science and technologies. Then here, wisdom means the sharp mind which penetrates reality nature, the cause of suffering, the cause of happiness. that sharpness of mind which captures how everything's manifest. And the primordial wisdom mind means that your pureness of the mind is revealed. There's nothing to transform that. Just need to reveal that. Or you have to see it directly. So through that wisdom awareness can perceive directly your original mind, uncompounded. That is called primordial wisdom. So that is enlightenment, Buddhahood. So Gampopa is saying here, when the confusion is exhausted, dissipated, so when you achieve Buddhahood. See? Make sense?
In philosophy, the word they use is gnosis.
Oh, hypnosis.
Gnosis.
Gnosis, yeah.
And I've seen it used in Tibetan books, in Buddhist books as well.
Okay. Then you pick up which is better word, gnosis or wisdom.
Gnosis.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Gnosis?
Yeah.
Gnosis is better.
Okay. So gnosis, yes, keep in mind. No, gnosis. Yes. Get the gnosis. Yeah. So when one attains unsurpassable enlightenment, that time the confusion is now finished, gone. Now, say, if you think that perhaps this confusion will disappear by itself, say, just you expect. Maybe I don't need Dharma. Sometimes, maybe slowly, my confusion will go away. Maybe generally, naturally, maybe one time, maybe I'll achieve enlightenment. If you expect that, no, then it's saying here, what is said here. Then understand that samsara is known to be endless. Means there's not possible. Without Dharma practice, you cannot free from samsara. You cannot achieve enlightenment. Understand that samsara is confused. Now, yes, breathing. Yes, you see. Gampopa just described this step by step. As you see, this has a lot of profound meaning and vast meaning. Look at that. Now, because of this, now, please understand. Just look at our own mind. Understand that samsara is confusion. It's a state of confusion. Because of that, understand how much suffering is there. Not just only yourself, but the whole, look at the 6 realms of sentient beings. In the world, at least we see human beings and animals, and including all the small insects, how much suffering is there. Look at this. Understand how long it endures. From beginner's time, we went through. And if you don't practice, it will go endless. How much samsara endures? How long? How much suffering is there? Look at this carefully. Understand that there is no self-liberation without Dharma. There's no self-liberation. Oh. These are very important points. We should memorize, reflect our Dharma practice. So look at this. So then this will give you really good reason where we need to practice Dharma. Not as a religion, but as a method how to free from the suffering. It's a gateway towards the liberation of suffering. Look at this. So therefore, say, from today onwards, you say, today, you see. It's not saying when I'm retired. It's from today onward, you should make as much effort as possible to achieve unsurpassable enlightenment. You must make effort. Do the work. See, joyfully. You see, when you feel, I'm so fortunate, that means there's a joy you're practicing Dharma. No, I'm so fortunate. I appreciate, I rejoice this opportunity. Look at the world, there are so many people, how much they make effort, risking their life. But they have nothing is achieved. But if we practice Dharma, you age, you get old joyfully, with dignity. You get sick joyfully. And you die joyfully. So, bodhicitta is in my heart. Dharma is in my heart. That's the purpose of our Dharma practice. So when I'm talking this, it makes sense?
Yeah.
You are getting something?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. If you're not getting, then it's not so helpful.
I have a question, Khenchen.
What question you have?
When you talked about, like, if you saw a landscape and so forth in your dream,
Yes.
and you can't say that it doesn't exist, but at the same time, where does it exist? If it
That's right. So what do you think?
It seems to me that ultimately there's a mind, but the mind is empty. The mind is aware, but the mind doesn't have substance. That's the way it seems to me.
Okay.
But I guess you couldn't say it exists because it's not a substance or a thing, it doesn't have any characteristics. But you couldn't say it doesn't exist because you're always aware.
Okay. Now here now Gampopa is now giving us some kind of some statement that awakes us. So what manner of things are needed in order to make this kind of effort, say? Now what kind of conditions we should have? What kind of method to go through this step by step? causes and conditions we should make. Now here is the summary. Primary cause, 1. Working basis, 2. Contributory cause, 3. Method, 3, 4. Result, 5. And activities. So these 6. So all discriminating beings should understand, means who has awareness, understanding, that these six comprise the general explanation of unsurpassable enlightenment. So these 6 topics will give us a way how to achieve complete Buddhahood. So as I mentioned, so preciously and clearly presented here now, in a complete way, how to achieve the enlightenment and free from samsara. See? So here now is more detail. The primary cause for unsurpassed enlightenment. See? Primary cause means the fundamental cause, the root cause for the enlightenment. And the person who is the working basis for the achievement of enlightenment, the person, the human life, is the working basis, where the fundamental cause is there to work with the fundamental cause to achieve enlightenment is the precious human life. The contributing cause is that encourage one in practice. So the contributory cause is the spiritual master, which encourages us to achieve enlightenment, who shows us the path how to achieve. The method of practice. So the method, what kind of method is that? What you have studied, received teaching from the spiritual master, we practice, put into practice to achieve enlightenment. The result that is accomplished. So that the result is when it's all accomplished, perfected, the practice, that's the Buddhahood. And the activities ensuing from the accomplishment. Then the activities manifest from that what you have accomplished to benefit all sentient beings. These are the topics one should understand. So these are the basic topic put together. So through these all causes and conditions, we get a complete method how to free from samsara and how to achieve enlightenment. So these are used, as I mentioned, from the enlightened point of view, from enlightened state, the how sentient beings can free from samsara, put together. This is so precious, you see. These are the topics one should understand. To explain them in order, the primary cause is the essence of the well-gone one. Means Buddha nature. Well-gone in Sanskrit is called Sugata. Sugata means well-gone, gone beautifully, completely. It's called well-gone. Means from samsara to the enlightenment, well-gone. Well-gone, that means it has a lot of meaning, you see. First of all, purifying all the cause of confusion, cause of suffering. So well-gone. No. Gone beautifully. So everybody admire that practitioner. Just for example, who keeps the 5 precepts and practicing love and compassion, bodhicitta. So everyone admires that person. So beautifully follow the path. It's called beautifully gone. Well gone, purifying all obscurations, developing all the good qualities called well gone. So that nature we have. Everyone has that nature. So essence, that's how. So the essence of the well gone one, which every sentient being has. As a working basis, the precious human life is excellent. In the sixth realm, who can practice Dharma? This is a precious human life. No? Of course, the other can, but the best choice is precious human life. No? The contributing cause is the spiritual masters. No? The spiritual master who has established his or her the quality of the study and practice and becomes a good example and then show the path to others. So this is how to follow. It makes the contributing cause or it makes the condition. No, it makes a good condition for them. The method is the spiritual master's instruction, see. That's the method. You receive all the complete teachings from the spiritual master, step by step. So with that, study, practice, what you can expect, the results. So, the result is the body of the perfect Buddhahood. Body means that the whole nature of the Buddhahood, enlightenment. The activities are benefiting sentient beings without conceptual thought. Because you are perfected, like a pilot of aeroplane engine, when the engine is on and then fly in the sky, then you don't have to worry. It flies. So without effort. So these six, you see. So these six topics form the body of this text. Now this is the complete teachings I contain in this six topic. Now the limbs will be explained in detail. So now we'll explain detail.